lovely. Okay. Let's see if she shuts off now. She shuts off, folks. Yeah, I'll need to think this through and see if figure out another solution or if this is going to work long term. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. We've got another vlog on the Red Sea Reefer G2 350. Today we're going to be getting the auto top-off unit set up by Tunze and this innovative marine reservoir that's going to hopefully fit in that cabinet. Here we go. So let's take a look at what we are upgrading or replacing. So this is the stock auto top-off reservoir the tank comes with. I think it's a little under 5 gallons, so it's a little small. That's really the biggest issue, but it functions well. So there's a little spigot at the bottom of the tank that hooks to that tube, and that is a gravity-fed tube or mechanism that goes to the bottom where there's a float. So, you know, I like it. I actually like it quite a bit. There's one less cord you have to plug into the wall. So I like that it's gravity-fed, but without the lights running and really anything but a heater, it's just not enough water. So it runs out in about 3 to 4 days tops. Just too much evaporation going on to keep up. So the other negative is it's kind of in the way. Once I add a skimmer and I'm going to do a fuge with some macroalgae, it'll be kind of in the way. And so I think this will be a good upgrade, and it's a definite must. Now people do run these and you just have to kind of be on top of things and always be refilling it, and that can be a little bit of a pain, especially if you go on vacation for more than a few days. But then again, many people have a neighbor or a friend come over and check on the tank and they could refill it. So that's the kind of the stock system we're going to be replacing with the new setup. Okay, I've unboxed the Tunze unit 3155. I think there's a nano version as well. So we've got power adapter, the actual controller with some indicator lights that says when the water level is too high, right on, when the pump's on, or the water level is too low. This little guy right here, this float triggers when the water gets too high. This sensor right here, if I can get that to focus, that tells us when the water level is too low. The magnet on back goes on the tank in the bottom and the sump. We'll get that hooked up. Then here's the pump that will go in the reservoir at the bottom, and this will kick on when the water level gets too low. 15 gallons. We'll see how long this lasts me. Hopefully over a week, so I can go on some vacations here and there. I've got things semi hooked up. I do need to note that the controller came with a couple pieces of Velcro, so that should do for now. We'll get this reservoir filled up. It's going to take, I imagine, a few hours. One thing I want to add, so one negative thing about this innovative marine reservoir for auto top-off water, it's a little difficult to get your wrist down there to clean out. And it has a pull-out shelf. I'm not going to be able to use it with the way I've got this cabinet set up. But I won't need to use it, but it's just a little discouraging. I will probably want to clean this out every few months, I would imagine. Wipe it out at least, but a little bit of a pain with the small area to work with. Even if you pull that drawer out, it's a little bit tight. But we'll see how it goes. I also picked up an extra pump. Not that they go out. I mean, I've never had one go out on me, but just some peace of mind in case you're in a bind and one does go out. It's good to have one on hand. They're only about 20 or 30 bucks on Amazon. Okay, let's do a little test. So I have things somewhat kind of in place. See if we can see it in here. I don't know. I have the sensor down here next to the return pump, and then this black line right here clamped on is the water line, so it should feed right into this area where the return pump is, and that goes around. And then we'll go over here to this cabinet where I've got the innovative marine, reservoir filled up. I've got the pump inside. I've got the controller hooked onto the wall here in the back wall of this cabinet. So let's plug this puppy in and see if we can get some water moving. Okay, I'm going to plug it in here. Excuse my hand if it's a little shaky. It says it's level, but I think it'll start pumping here. It usually does. Okay. It's attempting to pump water. Let's go take a look. There she goes. It's a pretty decent pump. It's quite a distance and it's having no trouble. Okay. Now it seems to have stopped. Well, not fully. So we want to make sure we don't have a siphon going on or something. So let's take a look over here. Okay, it says the water level is level, so the pump should no longer be activated. But maybe it's going to drip a little bit because of gravity. Nope, it's still going. Let me look into this. Alright, so I figured out why I have a siphon issue. When the pump turns off, water keeps flowing because the height of the auto top-off water is taller than where the water was coming out here in the sump. So that's one negative I just dawned on me with this innovative marine reservoir. It's pretty tall. So I can't have the water output from the pump too high. So for now I'm just gonna clamp it up here, have the hose come down a little bit, and see if it'll stop dripping and shut off. That should be high enough, but I'm not sure this is a good long-term solution. I need to kind of think this through. I really don't want it to go to the display up top. I just think that's less tidy. So let's give it a test. Okay, so I'm going to come in here. I'm going to unplug it. And then let's plug it back in. See how she pumps here. Oh, lovely. Okay. Let's see if she shuts off now. She shuts off, folks. Okay. Sounds like someone's going to the bathroom, but yeah, I'll need to think this through and figure out another solution or if this is going to work long term. But she's now working. Alright, this is the final solution, I think. Did a little research. So I've got the pipe here that's attached to the Tunze water pump. Pumps water. I zip tied it to the side of this red PVC that comes with the tank. This is kind of the emergency drain. Zip tied it to the top there so it's high enough. Now there won't be a siphon. It's above the water level over here in my reservoir. So I've tested it. There's no siphon, but there was splashing. And so what I did is I just cut a small piece of black PVC, fed the tube down in there just a tad, and now when I turn on the auto top off, when it kicks on, that pump kicks on, it pumps water into the sump here without much splashing, and I think this should do. If you have other ideas on how I could have done this better, let me know, but I think this will be, I can sleep well, and there won't be splashing and stuff like that. So let's test it out. Okay, I've unplugged the controller. I'm going to plug it back in because it always pumps a little bit of water. I'm sorry if the camera's shaking. Let me plug that in and I'll show you how this works. Okay, it should start pumping shortly. There we go. Not too bad, not too shabby, right? So I'm pretty comfortable with that. think that'll work well. So that is the auto top-off upgrade, including the Tunze pump, the sensors which I've placed down here in the sump, a much larger reservoir over here to the right, and the controller. So the next part of this build is I've picked up this puppy. This is a slide-out control panel. It's a fancy way of saying a piece of wood with a couple brackets. That should go in here within the stand to help me mount my Apex and my MP40 maybe controllers, a few other things. We'll see. I need to kind of think it through and draft it out in my mind. So we're going to work on that next. We're going to get the Apex set up. We're going to get the MP40 set up. Rest of the equipment set up. We're going to work on cord management too. I'm not the greatest at it, but this is a little bit unacceptable for me. So we're going to try to tidy those things up, and that will be the next video, guys. So stay tuned. Appreciate your patience. We'll keep moving forward. Thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.